Well, it's just me in the room here alone. Oh well, I'll broadcast for a little bit. Give people a chance. I'm going to post the link, and anybody who wants to join, who wants to reflect a little bit on memorable documentaries, books, or things that got them set on the path of knowledge that they were on, you're free to come in. Um, I will put restrictions on those who want to use the Bible, um, but it's not a complete ban. Just this is not a place for preaching. And to give warning, if anybody does come in and you do look at clips or stuff, fair use warning here that a lot of stuff will be in fair use, as in to reflect upon and share things, critique, and hopefully be also educational at the same time too. So I'm just going to go post the link here. Just hold on. Maybe I did this a little too early. Oh well. Yeah, I'm a newbie, so post. There it goes. It did post. Okay. Well, to get things started off, I'll talk about the thing that triggered me to do this. I was looking through my hard drive, and I had some old an old series I really liked on it that I collected long ago because I couldn't find it, and I got finally found a source, so I grabbed it and kept it. I wish I could buy the series, but it was James Burke's Connections, Connection series. He also did a series called The Day the Universe Changed. And I know he's done some other things, but those were the big ones that had gotten had captured my interest, I should say. I mean, got me really thinking about the connections between things. A lot of times when we hear stuff, we think, well, this is only going to affect this, but we don't realize that you take one discovery, one event out of history, and you can change when things occurred. Um, um, or even if things would occur, uh, and stuff like that. But not everything's an isolated event itself. So, to give an example of, I got it loaded up here, so let me get to a position. So I was trying to look up other ones I remember. I remember David Attenborough, strangely enough. No, his weren't too common, but I actually ran across some of his. I remember running across some of his earlier work, which I really liked too. But my memory's a little hazy of those things. Here, I'm just going to load up a YouTube video here. I'll mute that so the advertising, and then I'll share screen as soon as I get it to a point in it. Just to show you an example of his work here. There we go. Let's see. Oh, did we get some? Nope. Nope. Now let's go share screen here. And so we want to share screen and
one of the things they do like to is Pittsburgh. And their crystal electricity gauge identifies an amazingly powerful electrical charge in the air all around the sky. One night, they pop into the lab and there's a sample glowing in the dark. Well, it's radioactivity, and they get the Nobel Prize. Soon, everybody's decided that slightly radioactive water is good for your health.
It's amazing what they thought back then, but I mean, it had an impact on history. It inspired a lot of things. Some of it not so good, and some of it really good, as he's about to show here.
Speaking of health,
Hopefully, people can hear this. I don't know if my mic is sensitive enough to pick it up, but
unfortunately, Marie's husband Pierre is killed by a truck not long afterwards. 5 years later, the widow Curie is sending out loneliness signals to the guy who has been their lab assistant for years, a fellow called Paul Langevin, who gets the message, and in no time at all, the two of them become a bit of an item. And a national scandal, because back then, widows are not supposed to send that kind of signal to unattached men. Of course, given what Langevin is about to do with the Curie's little crystal gizmo, receiving signals is right up his street. You're watching Langevin's use of the crystal right now.
And as I don't know if you guys picked up the audio, but as shown in there, like he just immediately jumps, shows you how, one little thing, just discovering certain little things, yeah, it spawned a whole bunch, but it also spawned one little thing that literally had a big impact. It had, I mean, I think within this episode, right here at this point,
because that's how this submarine hunter knows when to fire her depth charges to best effect. Because thanks to Langevin and what's called the Langevin sandwich, the ship knows she's sailing over the top of an enemy sun. Here's how. Attached to the hull of the ship is a small kind of dome structure, and inside, that Langevin sandwich I mentioned. A slice of crystal sandwiched between two plates of steel. Okay, you recall the crystal reacts to electricity by changing its shape each time you zap it. When that happens, the vibration caused by the change in crystal shape makes the steel plates vibrate too. And when that happens, the vibrations are really powerful and send out waves into the water surrounding the dome, like this. The waves go out in all directions, and when they hit something like a sub, they bounce back, put pressure on the crystal, and it makes electricity. And that's what generates the pinging noise that tells the sub hunter where the sub is and what to do about it.
But as I said, and it was just that concept that he introduced just made me realize how much of a connection there is between everything. And that, even though I was religious at the time, I just started looking for connections everywhere. I started looking to see what, what connected to what. I can stop presenting here. I only wanted to show a small clip. So, and man, that just inspired me so much to think about so many things. And it just made me not only just like science, but it also made me love history too. Oddly enough, social studies or history studies, one of the areas I had the most problems in, was one of the few areas I had most problems with, but for other reasons. I still incredibly loved the class. I mean, I had a really great teacher, very passionate, very expressive. A little bit of what's the term for it? A little bit of I wouldn't say strict, but you know, he was he did demand a higher level out of his students, and I just can't think of the term, but I'm trying to keep the language clean, so I don't want to use a hard, you know what, but you know, it was a really fun course. So, and you know, and I think that was about around the same time that I saw. Well, actually, just before when I saw the day when I was watching this series, The Day the Universe Changed. Now I don't have any clips from that, but I really liked that series too, because it was just like showed you pivotal points at which, you know, caused change, you know, which caused change, and and showed you a path of the outcome that came on. So, you know, even though these days it's hard for my brain to retain a lot of stuff, I just can't stop watching, feeling, looking in. But that wasn't the very first first thing that actually got me really interested in science. I mean, the thing, and I don't even know how to track down a clip or anything of this, but living in Canada, we had this one, on the province I lived in, we had this one provincial channel that had this one series on it, and I think it was actually meant for, it was actually generally meant, no, actually, I wouldn't say that was the first one, I was going to say, but I think it was meant for teachers and stuff. But I stumbled across it one time, and I ended up loving the series. I'd recorded it, but they're on VH tape. If you just to give you an indication of how long ago that was. I mean, DVDs weren't even a thought at that point, and I held on to the tapes for the longest time. I think I had to give them up in like 2006 or something like that, just because we didn't have a working VCR anymore, and so I just got rid of all my VHS tapes. I think it actually was later than that. I think maybe 2007, maybe. Love my brain. But well, that's that. But oh yeah, I was gonna say, trying to think of his name. I stumbled across him earlier, but there was this science show on the CBC, and I don't think it was called Quarks and Quarks, but it was with the guy that was part of Quarks and Quarks, I do believe. And I can't remember what the show was called, but I do remember watching that when I was in elementary school and seeing him and him doing just a few basic rudimentary, around the house science experiments, but and that just captured my imagination as a kid, and I do remember I did in the late 80s, early 90s watch a fair bit of a series called Nature of Things by David Suzuki. And I didn't watch all of them, but there's quite a few I really, really liked. I can remember the things he would do. And then I got out of it after a while, I guess maybe the content changed a little bit, or it was hard, hard. Other things that came along. I think it was probably about the same time that we had in Canada, we had gotten a whole bunch of new channels, which included the Discovery Channel and TLC back when it was literally called the Learning Channel. And I remember watching lots of documentaries on there. And I was a big fan of the Discovery Channel when it first started. That was back in the day when Jay Ingram was the initial host, and man, he went through a lot of co-hosts. I remember that. I was like, I can't even remember. He went through so many, I can't even remember them all. But guess with nothing to bounce off of anybody else, I kind of run myself dry. I don't know how to get to the YouTube page of this Hangout. I'll see if I can figure out how to do it. Because I did post it, the link in here. Just copy it again. Copy link. See if I can figure out how to get, just to give anybody a chance. Let's see if I can find. No, it's not even listed there on my channel. Again, channel. No, it's just got things I like. Oh, here's the YouTube page. We'll go there, copy. We'll open up a new window. And we'll go paste here. Paste and go. Oh, there's the YouTube event. And mute myself. Get it to go live there. And let's see, copy. Oh, there it is. Copy this. I'll post a link and come on, paste. There we go. What? E4. Yeah, my spelling's atrocious. Or stop. Yeah, if I do stop it and people want me to start a second one so that they can talk about things that impacted them and got them down to got them down the path that they took, whether it just be for their own personal pleasure, like astronomy, philosophy, or some other form of study, or even just just your personal hobby, whether it be that's the best I can do. I'll just keep yammering for a little bit longer. I'll go at least until 11. If nobody's joined by then, I will definitely kill it. So, I mean, I'm not that interesting. I mean, I do my best, but I'm just not that interesting. But I have to say, still, my favorite is probably the just to go down, like, my favorite is probably just still, even though I got into a lot of things, I oddly enough wasn't as big into space until somewhere in 2008. Yeah, about around there, maybe 2000 and actually no, I think it was 2006. That's when my big interest in space came in. So I can't remember what got me onto that. I think it might have been a magazine or something, but that's when I really got interested in space. But before then, it was a little bit of combination, light history, but with a lot of science. I know as a kid, as a kid, when in high school, I actually initially thought of being a paleontologist because I liked a lot of things about dinosaurs. But with my learning disabilities, I kind of scratched that off the list and decided to pursue other things. Like I did like art, so I was taking art, but I also liked machining and stuff like that. So I guess at this point I twiddle my thumbs. So twiddly dum. I mean, not averse to talking about other things if somebody just wants to pop in, but yeah, well, it is what it is. Maybe I just picked a bad time, but oh well. Kind of wanted it to do it, but also to get it out of the way. So that's why I picked the time frame I did, so that I could do other things during the day when the heat started getting in. Sadly, I'm not very tolerant of heat. That is one of my big weaknesses. So as cool as some places in the world might be, I probably won't be traveling to places like Egypt or southern U.S. or probably even some places in South America. Africa is definitely off the list. Don't I? From a lot of friends here that I have here that are immigrants from Africa, they talk about how it's just like Canada's like so cold compared to their country, and I'm like, even during the summer, and I'm like, oh wow, no, I will not go to heat. So, though, if I was to visit someplace in America, probably Alaska. I'd probably take out Alaska. I mean, there's a few places in there that would be kind of nice. Not that I'm a big traveler, but so I don't know. I'm not sure what else to yammer about. Yeah. Well, at least I can say I did one live recorded hangout that I will probably share on my YouTube channel. Who cares if it's just me alone in a room? But yeah. So just gonna send out one or more rounds of invites to my circle. Just one last check before I shut it down. Oh, geez, I really know how to spell shut. There we go, fix it now. Shut it down before I shut it down. Interest. Wow, I really know how to spell things. And say sorry for multi. Invites. Yeah. I am a dude. There we go. And invite. Best I can do. Best I can do. Yeah, give it about another. Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's hosted an empty hangout, so I probably won't be the last. But as I said, if I get a request that I did this way too early and they were interested in do it later, I will do it later. Like I'm not aiming to be popular. As I said, I kind of wanted to stay on the fringe, keep my subscriber base low. I figured I would flee if it got to any level of highness because my brain's so unreliable and I just cannot do things on a routine schedule. And, I guess I should stop being my own viewer here. Oh, that's sad. That's sad. That's sad. We'll just close that down. And, give it about another 2 minutes. And we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So, yeah, give it another minute. Okay, well, as I said, at least I put one up. So. So, if anybody else wants to hold a similar type of hangout, send me an invite for sure. I'll try not to be domineering or anything, but just due to what inspired me to do the things I did, to take the path in life I did. Well, it's 11 here for me, so I am going to shut this down since no one seems to be interested. So, if you watch this, sorry about that. And take care.